We're going to start now, though, with the tariffs. President Trump is making good on his threat to impose tariffs on three of the United States' biggest trading partners, Mexico, Canada, and China. The president signed 3 executive orders on Saturday, while also threatening to increase tariffs on any country that retaliates. That has sent U.S. stock futures plummeting. We're talking about 25% tariffs. The president's measures set to take effect tomorrow include a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian imports and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. Trump says the tariffs are due to the 3 countries' roles in the flow of fentanyl and undocumented immigrants to the U.S. In a social media post over the weekend, President Trump acknowledged Americans might feel, quote, some pain. Reaction has been scathing, with the Financial Times editorial board labeling the move absurd, while the Wall Street Journal editorial board calls it the dumbest trade war in history.
Let's bring right now the anchor of CNBC's Worldwide Exchange, Frank Holland. Frank, comparing the tariffs first term to second term are dramatically different. And as Axios, Jim and Mike Allen's newsletter reports this morning, this year we're going primarily against our allies and some of our closest trading allies, Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, good morning to both of you. Not only some of our closest, the 2 biggest trade partners for the U.S. I want to get to the market reaction first. We're seeing the major indices down more than 1% in the pre-market right now. We had a number of money managers on the show and other people who, represent business. I think the one word we continue to hear was uncertainty. A big reason for stocks trading lower right now is the uncertainty. What happens next? Will there be retaliation? We know that Canada and Mexico are planning some retaliation. We also know the president plans to speak to the leaders of those countries later today. A big question is, will there be retaliatory tariffs coming from China? And what does this all mean long term? A lot of analysts believe that these tariffs will be short-lived. Others just aren't clear about what the path is going forward. The other big question, bond yields this morning. We haven't seen a reaction from bond yields, but generally, tariffs are seen to be inflationary. A lot of people are expecting so-called bond vigilantes to take action and move bond yields higher. We're also hearing from the newly confirmed Treasury Secretary later today about government funding. The question is, how much will the government borrow? So a lot of uncertainty out there right now. We're seeing a sell-off when it comes to automakers and companies with large international exposure, specifically companies that are tied to trade when it comes to Mexico and Canada. Think Chipotle. They get a lot of avocados from Mexico. Think Constellation Brands, the maker of the very popular Modelo beer. Obviously, that beer comes from Mexico. So broadly, uncertainty is the reason we're seeing a lot of this sell-off, a lot of questions to be answered, a lot of people waiting for the president to explain what the long-term gain will be, since he said there could be some short-term pain.
Right. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced that there will be retaliation, something Trump warned against. Coming up on Morning Joe, in just a few minutes, we're going to have Canada's former Foreign and Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, will join us on the show to talk about the tariffs.
Yeah,
CNBC's Frank Holland, thank you very much.